Good evening, everyone, over at BJ Tours. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. My name's Mark Werchnig, and I'll be the one conducting tonight's session regarding advanced booking techniques and also some modifications you can do in VAX. So why don't we go ahead and get started? So we're going to be on our Apple Vacations main page, and we're going to focus not under the Book Now area, but right below our search area. We're going to look at advanced search and then also multiple destinations. So let's click on the advanced search. And a couple of the reasons why you may use this advanced search page is probably the number one reason is going to be if your customers ask you to maybe book 7 nights airfare and maybe only 3 nights hotel. So offsetting your air and hotel dates. It's probably going to be the number one reason. So you're going to have your origin and destination right here. So where are you guys pretty much located out
of? PHL, Philadelphia.
All right, so you guys got that charter market. Perfect. So let's go ahead and let's say we're going to go to Cancun. And one thing I want to point out is when you start typing in the airport code, especially for Cancun, you're going to see 4 different ones pull up. Don't worry about the Cozumel via Cancun, this last one, because that's basically you're flying into Cancun and you're going to have to take a ferry over to Cozumel. You have 3 choices up here though. It says CU2 for Cancun hotels, CU3 for Riviera Maya hotels, and then CUN for Cancun and Riviera Maya. The reason why I like to point that out is if you choose the one where it says Cancun hotels, it's only going to filter over to Cancun hotels only. If you choose the one that says Riviera Maya hotels, you're only going to get Riviera Maya hotels. So you're not going to get any of them that are in that hotel zone in Cancun. So I always recommend using this Cancun one right here. So we're going to select some dates a little bit further out. And we're going to say for this example, your customers wanted to go 7 nights for their airfare, but they only needed hotel nights for 3. So the only big difference on this screen is you have some options down here that you can use your filters with. So if they want to offset their hotel dates, let's say they want to only go until the 20th. Click on the calendar, change your return date or your check-in date, and now we can go and hit search. You also have this filter button right here. I do not recommend using this because if the hotel you're searching for is actually not available, it will actually give you an error message and not even get you to your hotel availability screen. So then, also in this screen, if you click on and expand your flight, you have these options, shop by price and shop by schedule. I don't think Clint actually went over this with you, but if you click on shop by schedule, all this really does is it gives you more airline options. Because the typical search is shop by price, and what that does is it matches up classes of service. So the system will automatically match up classes of service. That doesn't give you all the flight options though that are available that you may see on American Airlines website. So if you notice a flight is there on an airline's website but you don't see it in VAX, click on the shop by schedule. It'll give you more options. So let's go ahead and hit search. So you can kind of see how this looks. All right, let's give it a second. There we go. It's thinking. So now you're going to be able to select your hotel as you normally would. So you can select your hotel. So let's say Nell Sapphire. All right, come on, click on the button. There we go. And now you're going to select your flights as you normally would. I'm just going to collapse that because you guys kind of went over that last week. So now you're going to be able to see we have our outbound flight the 17th of June from Philadelphia to Cancun on our exclusive nonstop vacation flight. It's returning on the 24th of June on that exclusive nonstop flight. You might hear them be called charters as well. So they're the same thing if you ever hear one or the other. Now we have our hotel the 17th through the 20th. So a couple common things of the reason why people will do this is either A, they have a split stay, maybe they have a voucher that they have for a portion of their stay with the hotel, or you get it a lot of times when people want to visit family. Be like, hey, I need flights for X amount of nights, but I only need a hotel for a portion of the stay. I'm staying with my parents the rest of the night, or family the rest of the night.
And also maybe they might be on a cruise, so.
Yes, but we're going to get into that in a few moments. So, I mean, yes, that could be the case, but I don't think this would be the best place for it.
No, just general though.
But we'll get into that in actually in probably like 7 minutes. So let's say you forget to actually offset your hotel dates at the initial search page. That's not a problem. If you go back into your hotels, let's get back into our hotel availability. There we go. If you go on your left-hand side under your filters, I'm just waiting for everything to update. And if you scroll down a little bit more, you're going to have additional search items. You have your calendars here again. So you can click on the dates. Now let's say they want to price out the entire stay again. Or if you forgot to do it at your main search page, you can click on the dates that you need and hit search. It'll update just your hotel portion. So don't worry if you forget to do it at that initial search. You can do it on this side as well. So that's offsetting your air and hotel dates. Not many people know it's there, but it actually is pretty useful. So now let's actually get into more of the complicated types of reservations within VAX. We're talking about more of the multi-stop functions. So we're going to focus now on where it says multiple destinations. And I'm going to use a Hawaiian vacation for this just because it's a little bit easier because Apple is all about those sun and sand destinations. We could use Europe, but there's not many of those out there except for maybe in Spain and some other areas. So you have your regions here. You can do air and hotel, air only, Hawaii, hotel only, but you have that option for those inner island flights, and then hotel only multi-stop. We're going to use air and hotel. So I'm going to make this breakdown probably the easiest you're going to ever hear it as far as a multi-stop destination, because when I used to train my team members on this, it could be overwhelming. So I got a little trick that I'm going to show you guys. So let's just say we're going out to Los Angeles, or from Los Angeles, and we're going to go to Honolulu and Maui. We're going to select our dates. And choose your first destination. In this case, we're going to do Honolulu. You're going to select the number of nights. So, because we chose air and hotel multi-stop, it does not allow me to remove that flight in destination 1, because that's going to be required. You do, however, have that option to remove any of these other components, like the hotel or the rental car. You just deselect it. For today's session, I'm going to keep my hotel. I'm going to get rid of the rental car. Here's your hotel filters if you need to, or your search options. And so now we selected destination 1, and now we want to go to destination 2, which is going to be Maui. And we're going to do 5 nights in Maui. So now let's take a look at it this way. We were in destination 1. We need to get to destination 2. How are we going to get there? Do we need a flight, yes or no? In this case, we do. So I'm going to keep that selected. So we got from point A to point B, or destination 1 to destination 2. Now that we're in that destination, what do we need? Do we need a hotel? Yes or no?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Do we need a rental car? Yes or no? You just keep looking at it that way, going from point A to point B, or destination 1 to destination 2. How do I get there? What do I need? That's going to make things a lot easier for you, because you can get 4, 5, 6 different destinations on here. And if you look at it as a whole, like I have 6 destinations, this is a lot of components I have to think of what I need. just break it down, look at it point A to point B. It'll make things a lot easier. So now from here, we can add an additional destination if we want to, by clicking at Add Additional Destination. So now if you have 3 destinations, okay, how am I going to get from destination 2 to destination 3? Do I need a flight, yes or no?
Yes.
And then from there, now I'm in destination 3. Am I going to need that hotel? Am I going to need that rental car? So just look at it that way. It'll make it a lot easier for you guys. So you can remove the additional destinations you add after stop number 2 by clicking on Remove Destination. We'll get into a 3 destination in just a few moments. Kind of. So another cool feature in the multiple destination tool is you have the opportunity to change your return flight if you choose to. So just remove it and put in a new destination. So let's say you need to go back to Denver. Put in your new city that you need to fly back to, and now you're ready to go. So you can only do this in your multiple destination tool. I will show you a way on how to do this with one destination. So now from here, let's go ahead and hit search so I can show you how the layout kind of is. Because it's going to look a little bit different than your normal single stop destination. And to me personally, I think the flow of the multiple destination tool is a little bit easier to follow. So let's wait for all that to pull up. And one thing I do want to point out is anytime you do a multiple destination, it is going to take a little bit longer because VAX is pulling a lot more inventory and availability. So there we go. It's thinking. It'll pull up in 1 second. All right. So what it's going to do is it's going to pull your flights first. So one thing I want to point out, we actually have launched this just recently, and I kind of want to show you this. You do have the opportunity to purchase basic economy fares on Apple Vacations. It will pull, you'll see it in red, it'll give you a little modal 2. So if you click on it, it'll pop this up for you. You have to accept those restrictions. You can, however, under your flight filters, click on Hide, and it will remove those basic economy fares for you. You also have the opportunity, I'll send you a link for this, but if you really want to remove those for good, under your member services and user preferences, you can click on it to where you never want them to show. And it will only show when it's the least expensive option. So I'm not going to select that. I'm just going to select a different flight. I just kind of want to show you how this layout is. So you select your flight from Los Angeles over to Honolulu. Now what it's going to do is it's going to take you over from your point A to point B. So we're going to go from Honolulu over to Maui. Just for purposes, I'm going to select this first flight. And then you select your return flight. Alright, so now you selected all your flight components. If you forgot to remove any of your inner island or inner country flights, you can do that right here. It'll say remove. That's an optional part of the package, so that you can remove. Your long haul flights or your over the water flights, you can say, that you would not be able to remove. So now from here, you would go to Destination 1, select your hotels and features. Once you do that, click on Destination 2, click on your hotels, rental cars, features, whatever you need. Remember, you do have the opportunity to add an agency fee if you choose to by going under Booking Administration. I'll show you when we do our modifications how you can add that after the reservation's been made. It's pretty simple, so we'll do that in just a few moments. So that is building a multi-stop. Are you guys comfortable with that? It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. I recommend going in there on your free time, just playing around with it. build out a scenario that your customers might want to do.
Okay. And Mark?
Yeah.
Okay. So on the hotel portion of it, will they give you the same, say, number of hotels if you did a single destination, point to point?
Well, if you do a single destination, you only have an option for one destination, so one hotel.
No, I mean for each location. So you know how I say if I'm saying I'm going from Philadelphia to Jamaica, and we pick the air, and then you get maybe 2 pages, 25 hotels to pick from. Will you also get a number of hotels for each stop that you need a hotel for?
Yeah.
Or are you limited?
Well, so let's click on the hotels.
Mm-hmm.
So in Honolulu, it'll show however many hotels that are available for your dates in Honolulu. So in this case, we have 72 hotels for these dates.
Gotcha. That's what I was looking for.
Yep. Yep. And so then you would just click on your second destination. It'll tell you however many hotels are available in that destination. So it's not going to be 1 or 2 hotels. It possibly could be, depending on the destination that you choose. You may have some of those secluded little beaches off in Thailand or Philippines or wherever they may have it, where you may have very limited hotels that we offer. But for these major hotels, you're going to always get more than just a handful of hotels.
Okay.
So it would be the same thing too if you wanted a hotel, 2 different hotels in the same destination. So destination 1, you would do Honolulu. Destination 2, you would do Honolulu for however many nights you want to do in each split of that hotel. So I always recommend getting in there, playing around with it, get a feel of how the multiple tool works. Once you get the hang of it, it's actually pretty simple. So let's talk about kind of that cruise you were talking about. Do you guys do cruises?
Yes.
So let's talk about our pre and post cruise packages that we offer. So we're going to still be in multiple destinations. So when your customers do a cruise, a lot of the times they'll want to do maybe a pre-night stay or a post-night stay, or possibly both. Even though we at Apple Vacations or Apple Leisure Group Vacations, we do not book cruises, you are able to offer everything else for your customers. Their airfare, their pre and post night stay, a rental car, features, give them that included benefit of that travel protection plus, because we all know cruises don't always go. So it's always great to offer that for them. And you would just build that in the multiple destination tool. And let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to do a Hawaiian cruise possibly. So I'm going to use my LA to Honolulu for the pre and post night stays. So you're going to need 3 different destinations. So let's do Los Angeles for the departure city. And let's click on some dates. And Honolulu for our pre-night. So they don't necessarily need to have 1 night if they only want. They can do a 7-night vacation if they want to go ahead beforehand. It's really up to the customers, but we're going to choose 1. I'm going to remove my rental car because I'm not going to use the rental car in Honolulu. Destination 2 is going to be their actual cruise. So you can put in your same destination, you can put in a new destination, whatever it may be. So let's do whatever, Kauai. All right, so now the number of nights is going to be the number of nights you need your cruise for. So let's say they're on a 10-night cruise, you're going to select 10 nights. And now because they're on a cruise, you do not need any of your components. You do not need a flight, you don't need a hotel, you don't need a rental car. And now for their post night, we're going to add additional destination. And under destination 3, I'm using Honolulu as the port, so I'm just going to put back in Honolulu. Maybe they end up in Galveston, Texas, then you would just put Galveston, Texas. Whatever they want to do for their post night. select the number of nights they want for their post-night stay. And now from here, we got to think about it. Okay, they were on a cruise, so they don't need a flight from the cruise ship to the destination. So you deselect your flight. Did they want the hotel? In this case, they do. If they wanted a rent-a-car, you would keep that there. In this case, I'm removing it. And now what we can do is hit search. And it's going to look the same way as your normal multiple destination would, with just one little twist. And I'll show you that in 1 second when all the availability pulls up. All right, computer, let's go. There we go. Just waiting for that to pull. All right, so let's say we go ahead, select all your flights. Then it's going to take you to your screen where you can select your hotel. So we have Destination 1. You go ahead, select your hotels and whatever features. Destination 2 is blank because that's the one that they were on their cruise for.
Right.
Then Destination 3 is their post night. Select whatever hotels and features that you want from there. Are you guys okay with that one?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yepper.
All right, so now let's talk about kind of that open jaw reservation where your customers fly from one city, take their trip, fly back to a different city. Well, we briefly touched base on that in the multiple destination tool. Well, that's the only place you can actually physically do that in VAX. But I'm going to show you a real easy way how to do it to where they only need to go into one destination. So again, that would be under multiple destinations. So we're going to say, let's go Philly. And we're going to go over to Jamaica. Let's go May 21st. You're going to select your destination and the number of nights you want that vacation for. So let's say 7 nights. You're going to select the components that you need. So obviously we have air hotel. You can't deselect that airfare. I'm going to keep my hotel, and then if they want to rent a car, you can have it. If not, remove it. So now they want to fly back to a different city. So let's say they need to fly back to Chicago. Well, we have destination 2. They don't really need 2 destinations. So here's a way to fulfill the quote-unquote minimum 2 destinations to do this in VAX. In destination 2, select your same destination, so Jamaica. And now from here, number of nights, you're going to choose 0. And then deselect all your components. That's what we call a dummy stop. So now technically, you have Jamaica for 7 nights, and then Jamaica for 0 nights. So really, it's only the 7 nights. And now from here, you can select the return city that you want to go to by just deleting it, putting in a new one. And now you can hit search.
How about that? I like that one.
That's quite common nowadays, where you get a lot of people that go on a little family vacation, or maybe they're visiting some relatives before the holiday, and then they're going to take their family vacation, and then they need to fly back to a different city. It's actually very common.
Yeah.
So then you would just select your flights that you need, and then your hotel. And then destination 2 is basically nothing. There's nothing there. So that is a open jaw. So if you ever hear that term open jaw, that's what that means. Fly from one city, go back to another. What I can do is I can send you a link for that when I send all this over for you guys.
Good.
So those are the advanced bookings that you have in VAX. What I think is a little bit more important is some of the things you can do as far as changes in VAX. So what we're going to look at is actually making changes to an existing reservation. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Retrieve Reservations. So you have the opportunity to put in your reservation number here if you have it. But if you do not have it, remember you have these additional search items that you can use as well. So if you don't remember the reservation number but you remember the names, you can click on the names right here. Put in the names. Maybe you don't remember the names but you remember when you booked it. You can click on your minimum booking date and search those parameters. Same with departure dates. If they have airfare, origin, destination, promo code. So you're going to learn more about a specific type of promo code in your groups training with Anthony, but there's a flexible code that you would be able to get for a minimum of 5 rooms. You can search all your reservations with that code. Or if you have site admin access, you can pull up whoever's bookings. If you don't have site admin access, you're only going to be able to pull up yours. Booking status, whether it's an active reservation or canceled. So let's say I want to look at reservations that I made today. Just put in the agent, click on search. So this is the only active one I have right here. See that under my status. And it'll tell you your supplier, your passengers, booking date, departure date, origin if they have one, destination, payment information, promotion code, everything like that. And you need to get into your reservation, just click on it. So what we're going to go over is valid for land-only reservations and also for those charter flights. Because with those charter flights, you have a little bit more flexibility in making changes because us at Apple Leisure Group, we actually own those seats. So doing a complete name change is a lot easier with those charter flights than it is with, let's say, American Airlines, where you can't even do a complete name change. So just keep that in mind. What we're going to talk about today in modifications, you can do on land only and with those charter flights. So here's our reservation. We have a Michael Myers and a Laurie Strode. So they're going to Breathless Riviera the end of May. So I purposely did not add travel protection on here. So we're going to kind of lump a couple of these changes together, such as adding travel protection, adding an agency fee, and also kind of changing your room category or hotel, because it's all going to follow the same path. So what we're going to focus on is under your itinerary tools and modifications tab, because we want to change one of the components of the reservation. We're going to go to change component. So let's wait for that to pull up. Alright, so it's thinking, and we'll be in there 1 second. Here we go. So we're in our availability screen now. So let's say you want to add an agency fee. This is what you would have to do. You'd have to go into your modifications, change component, and now you can add an agency fee. Type in your agency fee, and then hit set commission. If you have a previous agency fee on here and you want to remove it, click on 0.00, hit set commission, and it'll remove that agency fee. Let's talk about best price guarantee. One of the benefits with the Travel Protection Plus is if your package does go down, you can reselect your hotel components as long as it is available. And it's as easy as just changing your hotel and looking at your existing room category. So that's why I'm kind of lumping all this together, because it's all kind of the same thing as far as functionality. So
Okay.
changing your hotel room category, changing hotels, this is all going to kind of be the same. We're going to go under hotels and click on where it says hotels. Now it will give us all of our hotels. So I was at Breathless. So I'm just going to alphabetize this to make things a little easier. So let's go ahead, scroll down to Breathless. Alright, so here's our hotel. I currently had them booked in the Allura Junior Suite Ocean View King, and I can tell that by where it says current. And from here, let's say the hotel cost went down, you'd be able to tell if it did, because like just right above here, I'll kind of highlight that. This is a different hotel, but it will show you a minus amount. If it's a higher cost, it'll show you a plus amount. So like if we expand our room categories, so here's this one, the Accelerate Junior Suite Tropica View double beds. So we see it is $100.67 more. So you would just select whatever you want. So if you want to upgrade your room category, hit select. If you want to change your hotels, you find your hotel in the room category, hit select. If you need to rebook that room for that lower rate, just select your current room category if it's lower. Then it'll rebook that room for you at that lower rate for your customers. One thing I do like to point out, and kind of a best practice, is anytime you're making any type of modifications, I recommend always putting another back session up so you can kind of reference and go back and forth. Otherwise, what you can do is right here, it'll say modification in progress. Right above there, it says original itinerary. You can take a look at that original itinerary that you had. So it's always a good reference point, like what room category did I have? What features did I have? So just make that a good habit on referencing what you originally had. That way you know your travel protection didn't fall off, or maybe your features like a dolphin swim didn't fall off, whatever it may be. So let's talk about adding travel protection. So let's add a feature. And we're just going to click on features. So the analogy I really like to use when adding features is you're grocery shopping for your features. We have to pluck whatever items off of the shelves and put it into our cart. That's exactly what we would do. We would add to cart. But before I do that, I just want to show you a really cool enhancement that came out maybe November-ish. You do not have to purchase the Travel Protection Plus for all the travelers on the reservation.
Right.
So let's say only one traveler wants it. That's perfectly fine. You're just going to select the number, which passenger you want it. So do I want one passenger or two passengers? So in this case, I'm going to select one because I'm going to just choose it for the lead passenger on this reservation. So I'm taking that one Travel Protection Plus, putting it in my cart, and I'm going to add to cart. So now we see it is in our cart up here. And now from here, we have to go through the checkout process. So you're taking your grocery cart to the checkout process. To the checkout lane, I should say. Anytime you have a land-only reservation, because Apple Vacations does include transfers, it'll ask for your flight information. If you have it, you can just enter it real quick. So let's say it's American Flight 101, and enter your time. If they do not have it, just click on I do not have flight information. It'll require one or the other to actually complete any changes or make a booking. But let's say you do have that flight information, any modification you make, it'll still ask for this. After that first time, you can just click on the I do not have flight information.
Mark, just one question.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought travel insurance could only be purchased up to 10 days after initial deposit.
Very good point. So You have the opportunity to purchase travel protection 7 days after deposit
7, okay.
or up until final payment, whichever is due first. So because this reservation is 107 days out, we have 7 days from that deposit date. So whenever you posted that deposit, let's say you were at 50 days out, you would have 5 days because final payment is due at 45 days.
Okay, could you say that again, please?
Yeah. So the travel protection can be added 7 days after deposit or up until 45 days, whichever comes first.
Okay.
So the example would be this reservation is 107 days out. We have 7 days to add it after you post that initial deposit or up until final payment. So if maybe they pay final payment in 7 days, okay, fine. That's the last day you can add it.
Yeah.
If they have a deposit paid at 50 days out, you only have that 5-day grace period because full payment is due at 45 days.
Oh, I understand what you're saying now.
Yeah.
Okay. Whichever comes first, which is
Correct.
whether it be the 7 days or the final payment.
Correct.
Yeah. Understood.
All right. So we went ahead, we made all of our changes. Let's go ahead, scroll to the bottom. We have our travel protection. One thing to keep in mind, if you do offset your travel protection, it's going to ask what passenger it's for. And you have this red asterisk right here. That'll make sure that you actually make a selection before you make any changes. Just do the drop down and select who it's for. I'm going to select for Laurie Strode. And yes, it is a Michael Myers reference from Halloween. Tried to find some fake names that I found interesting. Now from here, to make any changes, just go down to the bottom, click that you've read and explained the terms and conditions, complete itinerary change. That's the only time you're actually going to complete any changes is if you click on the complete itinerary change. If you do not click on that, just back out of your reservation, click on new reservation search, click on your Apple Vacations logo, click on retrieve reservation, back out of it. It will not make those changes for you. So that's making a change. They're all pretty similar. You just go into your modifications, change component, and then you select whatever you want. So a couple other things I want to talk about is kind of in our comments and preferences. We have these 3 areas right here: special service requests, internal comments, flight information. This flight information is if you didn't provide flight information prior, it will ask for the flight information at some point. So now you can put in your flight information. Let's say it's a Frontier flight. Click on your time and hit submit. And once it goes through, you'll see it's been updated. And now you can actually click on history and see it has been added right here. So if you forget to, maybe you don't remember if you put it in or not, click on the history. So this history is everything that you can see within the reservation. Not going to get too deep into this, but in this screen as well, you can see maybe the reservation history. From there, you're going to be able to see what changes were made, who made the changes in the pricing. You have accounting activity as well. So the next one I want to talk about is internal comments. This reservation are your internal notes. So you don't have to keep writing on Post-its. You don't have to keep a notebook if you don't want. You can put in here whatever notes you want. The customers won't see it. So you could put in here, made a reservation for Michael and payment deposited. Whatever you want to put in there. So that's for your own eyes. So it's your own little kind of history tab. And now in here, you can see you have notes right in here. The next one is going to be special service requests. So it is always best to do the special service request at time of booking. And the reason why is I'm going to kind of point this out for you real quick so you can see it. So let's click on our special service request, and let's say they wanted to make a hotel request. Like maybe they wanted to put in honeymoon or anniversary, celebrating birthday. We don't have that at this point. And the reason why is there's a lot of hotels that are on a direct link. So the hotels manage their own inventory, they manage their own rates. Once the reservation is booked, those requests don't go over to those hotels. So if you ever forget to do a hotel request and it's after booking and you in here you don't see a hotel request area, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to reach out to the hotel and do your request. So best thing is at time of booking. Same thing with frequent flyer information. Because once it's booked, it won't go through to the airline. So it'll give you an error message. So let's just kind of look on how to add a request. So let's click on add on requests. And let's take a look at the transfers. So it's going to be kind of the same for everything. So we'll pretend that this is a hotel request. Let's say VIP customers. Best view. And now you can click submit, and that'll go over to the hotel. Or let's say they want rooms near another couple that's traveling. You could put close to Kruger, Freddie. And hit submit, and it'll enter it for you. So now when it goes over to the hotel, it will know, put rooms for Michael Myers next to Freddy Krueger. Simple as that. Or let's say for transfers. Let's back that up. You have a private transfer on here. You have another couple that's using the same flights, same hotel, same dates. You can cross-reference for transfers. You can say reservation XYZ using transfers. Once you hit submit, that'll go over to the transfer company so they know this reservation and this other reservation are going to use the same transfers together. So don't forget your comments and preferences area. Are you guys okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Very interesting.
So the next 3 modifications that I want to go over are things that people don't know they can do in VAX, but you can. So again, this is for land-only reservations and charter reservations. Let's say you need to change a name or make a name correction. You can do that in VAX by going under Modifications, Change PAX Info. Right now, I don't have an option to select and change it. You have to select whatever traveler it's for. So let's say Lori is actually spelled wrong. It's L-O-R-Y or L-O-R-I. Or you need to change a complete name. You can change your complete name. You can click change. So it's currently updated right here. We have our same room category, and again, I will always recommend checking your original itinerary. So we have our room category the same, the Lord Journey Suite Ocean View King. We have transfers, travel protection 1, but it was for Lori. So we have to change who that's for. Because we already added flight information, I'm going to click right here. I do not have that at this time, just because otherwise it's just going to keep going over to the ground handler. You can scroll down to the bottom, complete your itinerary change. And then it will change it for you. Let's say they backed out at the last second. Okay, we haven't touched it. We haven't clicked on our complete itinerary change. Just re-pull your reservation. And when this pulls up, we will notice that the change has not been completed. So if you wanted to make that change, you just proceed with that complete itinerary change. Pretty simple. So kind of one thing I want to kind of point out on how hotels view name corrections or changes. The lead passenger, the hotel will consider a cancel and rebook. So just be careful on the hotel possibly changing or the price changing, because it's going to rebook it at whatever the current rates are and availability. So that's why I always emphasize look at your original itinerary. Second passenger on down, it's not going to make a difference. You'll be able to make those changes within VAX, not a problem. So just be careful on making those changes. The next one I want to talk about is maybe possibly adding a night or shortening a night. You're going to be able to adjust your dates within VAX by going under Modifications, Change Res Date. So let's say they want to extend it to the 2nd. Click on your calendar, select your new date. And now we're going to hit search and wait for it to pull up. You're going to only be able to do this if your dates overlap. So one of these dates of your original dates, the 27th of May through the 1st of June, have to be on here. So you can select it for June 1st later on, that's fine. If you want to select for July, you're not going to be able to do it because those dates don't overlap. So it pulled up the 27th through the 2nd. I'm going to click out of my original itinerary and make sure I have everything. Allure Junior Suite Ocean View King. Okay, we got it. Transfers are automatically there, and Travel Protection Plus for just the one passenger. Got our transfers and Travel Protection Plus for one passenger. We're going to go ahead and hit checkout. Again, because we have transfers on here, I'm going to click on this because it's going to ask you every single time you make a change. Scroll to the bottom. Make sure we select our travelers. Again, for the offsetting the travel protection, it will ask for that because technically it's rebooking it. So now we're going to go ahead and complete our itinerary change to finalize that change. Let's wait for that to update. Alright, so now our dates are changed, the 27th of May through the 2nd of June. Pretty simple. The last change I want to show you is dropping a person off. So again, land only or charter. And I would not do it without the travel protection. So if they have the travel protection, I would recommend doing this. So you can go into your modifications and hit drop packs. And then remove the passenger that you want. Because Lori has that travel protection, she's just going to lose that travel protection. You click remove, click on change. Here we go. So now we just have Michael on here by himself because he's mean and no one should travel with him ever. We have a single room. Again, original itinerary. Make sure everything's the same. Allure Junior Suite Ocean View King. And transfers. He didn't have travel protection, so it's not on there. We got our transfers on there. I have to decline the travel protection because of the fact that there's no money on here. It's going to show that. And now if they want to go ahead and complete it, hit complete itinerary change. If they don't want it, maybe they just wanted a pricing, just back out there, click on retrieve reservation. Pretty simple. Are you guys comfortable with those three?
Yeah.
Yes. So Mark, one question. So the only thing that protected you was the fact that she had travel insurance. But if she had just canceled the reservation without final payment, they would cancel the reservation anyway, but okay. But if it was paid for and she just canceled.
Yeah, so I did this for a single traveler, and I chose the person that had the travel protection because there are penalties if they cancel.
Right.
So they would just lose that travel protection, and because you would have travel protection on there, it's going to automatically adjust it up after you make that change after a couple minutes. Because that travel protection is non-refundable, it just stays on the reservation. If there's penalties involved with it, outside of just losing the travel protection, I wouldn't recommend doing it because you're going to want to quote the customers accurately.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with scheduled airfare. Anytime you have scheduled airfare, you do not want to do any of these changes at all. That's why I kind of, outside of like maybe changing your room category, adding features, removing features, or agency fee. Because once payment is on a reservation, that airfare tickets. Then any changes, you're going to be subject to whatever airline penalties there are.
Right.
So any changes of changing dates, names, removing, adding, give us a call. Anything with the hotel or any features, you're fine. It's just that airfare is the real important part. That's kind of why I wanted to emphasize land only and charter, because those charter flights, those are our flights. It's not a big deal. So those are the three main ones people do not really do in VAX, but they can. Like I like showing that. So those are the modifications I have for you. So before we wrap things up and open it up for questions, I do want to show you one thing. In your Apple Vacations main page, you have this area that says, "Are you primed for peak?" This is actually a really great page for you guys. It will give you, I'm going to pause this. Every month, there'll be a new executive on here giving you a message and where the status of maybe the call center or groups department, whatever it may be. We try to be as transparent as possible on where things are. If you scroll down, it'll give you updates. It'll give you some new technology updates as well. So we did launch multiple Origin reservations. I'm going to send you a link for that just because it is a lot to go over, and that kind of should be on its own. And I didn't want to overwhelm you guys with all of the other types of bookings and modifications. So it's a quick couple-minute video. When I send out this video to you, Bobby, I recommend sending it over to your agents so they can just kind of watch the quick video or whatever.
Okay.
We are also going to be launching a new enhancement on the 12th, which is adding airfare to a land-only reservation. Previously, you weren't able to do that within VAX. So on that date, you're going to be able to. I don't have the link for you quite yet, but I think it might be in our self-help library, and I'll show you where that is. Let me jot that down, and I'll include that link for our self-help library as well. Next week, when you guys go through groups already has this technology, so you're going to see like a live version of this as well. So keep an eye out for that. And also in here, it'll tell you any things that are going on. So selecting the basic economy fares, we have this get paid to upgrade program, how to report technical issues. We have booking hacks in here. So kind of a do-it-yourself or saving your itinerary, including the travel protection in your sales email. And then at the bottom, we have our award-winning education campus. If you click on that, you have your calendar of learning events here. And if you click on View Calendar, it'll give you a list of all upcoming webinars that we have. And then you can register for it and log on. You can also I think I get back here. Click on the self-help library. So this is a great tool for you guys. So maybe you forgot how to do something. So maybe you forgot how to build a multiple destination itinerary. Okay, so in here, we have it. You click on building a multiple destination itinerary. Here's a video, or here's a step-by-step document instruction. So now you don't have to go pull this recording back up, sort through the whole video. Or maybe adding an agency fee, which is setting your own commission. You click on that, gives you a little video, gives you step-by-step instructions. All right, so we do have adding air to a land-only booking in here. I can send that link. I'll send that link for you guys as well. So that's probably only the document. I don't know if the video's in there quite yet because it's not live. Oh, maybe it is. So when you get it, take a look at it. And then if you have questions on how to do it, let me know. I'm more than happy to go over it with you. So do you guys have any questions for me?
No, I don't.
Yep.
I don't.
That sounds definitely.
I mean, it's a lot of information, but it's not overly complicated, I think. So again, my recommendation: get in Vax, play around with it.
Okay.
That's gonna be the best way
Mark,
you're gonna learn. Yes.
Okay. Can you answer some questions about the Wave?
Sure.
Wave? Okay. Okay, so my understanding was once you made a booking in Wave initially, because it's a rollover from royalties, you would get an email having you pretty much register for Wave. That didn't really happen for us.
So did
We had to actually.
you guys make a reservation after November 1st with payment?
Yes.
Oh, so you did, and it
So we
hasn't
actually
gotten anything.
had to actually send an email to Wave, and they sent us an email, and we had to register. And I think everybody, Eugenia, you're fine. Ramona, you're fine.
No, I didn't try it again, Bobby.
Okay.
The first email didn't work, and I didn't try it again.
Okay.
Okay.
So what I would recommend is, Bobby, send me your guys' username and your Vax login names for everyone that's having an issue. I sit right next to Laura, who is one of the Wave team members, and I can see if she can look into that for you guys. But yes,
Okay.
any new reservation that you've had after, I think it was like November 1st or something like that, you should have automatically gotten it. There has been some issues with old royalty points moving over to your new Waves account, but my understanding is those should all be wrapped up by now.
Okay. Because I know I had some. So waypoints are for all segments, not only Apple, but say United Air Vacation, all but I think everything except for American Airlines, right?
American Airlines Vacations is not an Apple Leisure Group's brand.
Right. It's just in Vax.
Yep. They rent space in Vax. But, so yes.
I don't really care if their commission rates are really low.
All of your Apple Leisure Group's vacations brands, Apple Vacations, FunJet, Travel Impressions, you have Blue Sky, which is just Hawaii and South Pacific. You have our two airline brands of United Vacations and Southwest Vacations. The booking processes are the same within all of them.
Okay.
So, you guys being in Philadelphia, I don't know how much people use Southwest Airlines out of there, but like here's a benefit of Southwest Vacations. That's the only brand we offer where if your customers have a previous airline credit, you can use it on their package.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
United let one of my clients use one of theirs.
United Vacations, that's,
yes.
Well, not an airline credit. They might have had an electronic travel credit.
Okay, I'm not sure what it was, but whatever they had, they allowed them.
Electronic travel credit, yes, we can use. So maybe their flight was delayed or their bags were delayed. A lot of times they'll give them like a $50 voucher. So those have a specific PIN number and password. Those we can use.
Right.
But the airfare cannot be ticketed.
Okay.
So that really has to be done when you make that reservation. The reason why is we don't have a way to get paid from United Airlines if you have a previous reservation because that goes towards the air cost.
Mm-hmm.
So each brand has its own little differences. Those airline brands have a little bit more lenient policies with the airfare because we manage those brands. Kind of like Southwest, you can use those airline credits. United Vacations, okay, they have a low deposit policy without travel protection, whether it's 200 or 300 per person. They have um, also benefits for their Mileage Plus members that have the Visa Explorer cards. You get benefits too. All of the other brands, you can't use those third party things like that. So each brand has its own little differences, but the booking process is all the same. And with us, we
So
don't
with
care who you book as long as it's Apple Leisure Group.
got it. Okay. So with the royalty points, when they get rolled over, will they look different than the wave points, or will they just be
It'll
like
all be converted
the,
into wave points.
okay, but under the different suppliers though,
Yes.
within Apple, yeah,
Yeah. So
within
it
Apple.
would be your Apple ones. There you go. If you had previous FunJet or Mark Travel bookings, so FunJet, Southwest Vacations, United Vacations, or Blue Sky Tours, those would have been paid out to you already because that was actually like a bonus cash program. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
a virtual Visa that would have gotten paid out already. Um, and so travel impressions would have gotten rolled over as well. And then you can basically convert those things to a virtual Visa. You can use it for a discounted agent vacation. You can convert it to cash if you want. And the really cool thing about the waves is, let's say you want to take a um, discounted vacation yourself, and you have all the points to use it. So the only thing that'll be required is a $1 payment. And the reason why we do that is that's a way to not have to pay 1099s, or basically send you 1099s.
Mark, could you just give a brief description of what the wave is for some of the new people?
So any reservation that you make within Apple Leisure Group Vacations, doesn't matter the brand, you earn points. So let's kind of log into Waves real quick. So let's take a look at Waves. So you earn points on every package that you have. So you get 10 points for every $30 that you have on a charter flight reservation or charter flight package. You get 5 points for every scheduled airfare reservation, 5 points for every $30, I should say, for scheduled airfare and land booking packages. Contracted groups, it's double. 20 points for each charter, 10 points for every $30 on a land only or scheduled airfare package. Points basically they expire if a new booking hasn't been made within 12 months within VAX. Otherwise, it's 3 years. So you have options to earn additional Waves points by looking for this green indicator in here. You can take a look at your current offers. So let's click on that. So Apple Vacations, let's see if I can expand that right now. All right, so any Cancun, Riviera Maya, Cozumel destination, air, and hotel. You have booking dates and travel dates. You get additional 1,000 points per reservation. Or you can take a look. You have suppliers and everything like that. Let's take a look. I don't know if I have my dashboard information. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't remember my training. one real quick, but let's take a look. Man, do I hate these things.
Crazy.
All right, username not found. So I don't remember what our training login information is, and I don't think I have it on my email. I think I have it written down at my desk. There's a dashboard in there that you can kind of look at everything in there. I'll see if I have some Waves documents for you guys I can send over to you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
But yeah, unfortunately, I don't have my username or password, so we can't really get into the dashboard. But essentially, the basics, what do you need to know? Any reservation you make, you're going to get points. There's reservations where you can earn additional points on top of the points that you would earn. And that's that green indicator that says Waves when you're making the reservations. And then within your dashboard, you have the opportunity to look to see how many wave points you have. You can check your wave maker status. So wave makers is us trying to recognize top bookers that have earned wave points within the system. And from there, you can earn maybe additional waves points, discounted fam rates, whatever it may be. It'll kind of give you everything in there. There's a basically like a transaction history in there, which is kind of like a bank account for waves points. It'll tell you what's in there, what's been used, what it's been used for. And then in there, it also gives you booking instructions on how to convert your waves points into a virtual visa or to a agent vacation. So as long as you're making reservations, you're earning points.
Okay.
It's the number one thing.
Okay.
Okay.
And so
Everybody good?
I'll look to see if I can find a kind of a video on waves.
Good.
I think I have one with our business development managers. I can send that over to you guys.
All right, I think there might have been one in the.
Clint probably sent one over to you.
Yes, I think he sent one in a package of classes, webinars that we could go through. I think there was a wave one in there.
Yeah, and I recommend if you guys are having issues with it, or you've signed up or whatever, or you're having trouble signing up, send me over your Vax ID number or your Apple number and your username, and I can work with the Waves people to see what's going on.
Okay.
That'd be my pleasure.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark.
My pleasure, everybody. And
Yeah.
if you guys
Don't forget next week, 8 o'clock, Monday, final class.
and then
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Have a
And
good
Bobby,
night.
if
Thank
you
you.
have any questions, you have my email. If your team has any questions, shoot me over an email. More than happy to help you out.
All right. I appreciate you, Mark. Thank you much for your help.
My pleasure. And yeah, you'll probably get this video probably sometime in the morning. It just takes about
Okay.
an hour and a half to render and everything.
Yeah, okay, not a problem. Okay, I'm going to bed anyway.
I'll eat some dinner and probably go to bed too.
Yeah, all right. Have a good one, man.
Thanks, you too, Bobby.
Bye now.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.